This is so weird because I've never ever had someone like else on my YouTube channel unless they've been like in the background of a vlog. But hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Thought I'd do a different style. Obviously these are my hands. Thought I'd do a bit of a different style of video today and do a bit of a Q&A because I know I didn't put it on YouTube, but I did put it on TikTok and Instagram and basically just ask for any like mum sort of questions, because on my TikTok I get so many questions every day, basically just about loads of things, mum, pregnancy, literally just anything. And obviously my sister is also a mum. She's further ahead than I am. I don't know if I've even said this on YouTube. We've got babies that are basically...
You don't know who I am.
No, this is my sister. Her name's Megan. Basically, our babies were born, other than 2 weeks, a year... What am I trying to say? How am I wording that?
1 year and 2 weeks.
Yeah, so they're basically exactly a year apart. So they're very close. So but obviously Megan's a bit further along. So I thought it'd be interesting to get her take on things as well, obviously being further along. So we're filming for TikTok as well. So if we're looking that way a bit more as well, and if you can see the pole, that is our tripod. But I think we'll probably be answering for longer on YouTube. So we'll probably switch over at some point. So yeah, if we are looking that way, that's why. But hopefully we'll still, I don't know how to say it. There you go. But hopefully we'll still get some questions answered. And yeah, if you like this style of video, I can definitely do more on YouTube, because yeah, I just don't do this sort of stuff on YouTube at all. Anyway, I'm blabbering. I've got the questions on my phone, so we'll just answer them. We'll get my take and Megan's take, and yeah, just answer some questions. So hope you enjoy. Cheers. Right, we're gonna, oh, I'm not even in it. There we go. Right, we're gonna answer some questions. So I put a box on my Instagram, to be honest, that's where I got most of them. So we're gonna get my take and Megan's take. Obviously Megan's a lot further along than I am. Our babies are exactly a year apart. So yeah, let's just get through the questions. We're going to try and keep it as quick fire as possible.
Yeah, like question.
So you go first. So what's been the easiest stage so far, and what's been the hardest stage? First, though, say how old Flo is though.
Oh, she's 19 months.
Eddie's almost 7 months.
Definitely, I think 10 to 12 months. Only because Flo, easiest, because Flo was walking. So I feel like because she was mobile, in some sense, she wasn't getting as frustrated and things like that. So I think that was quite, I wouldn't say easy, but
and fun,
easiest.
Though,
yeah, and fun, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, and the hardest?
Now, probably, because she's kind of reached the tantrum stage, but she can't properly communicate.
Yeah. So
it's quite difficult to understand what she's saying and what she means.
And then she's like really trying to talk, isn't
yeah,
she? She can't get the words out.
So obviously I think now is the funnest stage, but I think in that sense it is definitely the hardest as well.
Yeah. I'd say the easiest, obviously I don't have much to go on, but the easiest for me so far, I'd say, is literally like 2 to 3 months, because they're still sleeping loads. They're not really, like, they don't really do much still at that age today, but they're starting to smile and, like, I don't know, not a personality, but you start to see little things like that. And I don't know why, I just found that stage a lot easier. I was able to leave the house, like, and I don't know, I just found it easier in that sense. But then the hardest, I'd say, is probably like the last month, to be honest, because like you were saying, he wants to be on the move and he can't. He's been getting so frustrated, he's been trying to sit, and he's only just got that, so he's definitely a lot happier now. But yeah, I would say for those reasons, and also like teething and stuff.
Yeah,
now. Why did you choose to exclusively pump rather than breastfeed? So we both exclusively pump. I'm not gonna lie, I basically chose that because of you.
You got me.
Because I knew I never wanted to latch him. That's just like, I can't even really explain it other than it just makes me go like that.
Yeah, I know, you've always had that.
It's weird, but yeah, so I didn't want to latch him, and I wanted to try and give him breast milk if I could. So, and I obviously saw that you did it so well, so I thought, well, I'll try that as well.
Yeah, it was kind of need for us, because for me personally, and this is just personally, kind of breast milk was like a non-negotiable for me. It's just something I really wanted Flo to have. So when she had latching difficulties, I felt like I had no choice really. And by the time I could get any help, it was too late really. We were already established in pumping, so we just ran with it.
Basically latching issues.
Something like that.
Okay, this one, I feel like we've got to try and keep this brief because it's such a big question, but like, how does your baby sleep? I'll go first because mine's like, I feel like, I wouldn't even know. When we last night, I don't know, because some days he does really, really well. Like last night was a really good night. He only woke up once. But then we also have some nights where he wakes up every 20 minutes. So he's not sleeping through the night. But I always say I wouldn't really expect him to at that age anyway. No. But he's also not like terrible. He's quite good at like sleep when we're out the house. Sometimes daytime naps is quite hard to get him down for. But yeah, he's not terrible. He's not great. That's
basically the bottom line.
That's how I word it for Eddie.
To be fair, now I would kind of say the same for Flo. Like, she's never been the best sleeper ever. She's never slept through, not even once. So I'm used to it. So it doesn't really affect me that much. But yeah, she's not the best sleeper. Nap times, she's fine now. She used to be exclusively contact napping up till like literally 1. Yeah. So and then just something just clicked overnight, and she suddenly was happy to nap in her cot. So naps are pretty good, really. But nighttime, she's still up at least twice. Normally 3-4 times. But like I say, I'm used to it now. So
yeah, you've got it more on the FOMO baby.
Yeah, definitely. It just is what it is at this point. She'll sleep through one day.
Yeah, exactly. Someone said, how do you cope with anxiety when having a baby? This is another tough one as well, because I personally feel like my anxiety is so much worse after having a baby. I don't feel like I massively struggled before, but since having Eddie, I think you just overthink everything. Like if there's ever anything wrong with him, not that there ever is obviously anything wrong with him, but as in like you just overthink everything when it's something so simple a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how I cope with it though, because I feel like my partner helps a lot because he's quite good at remaining calm. So I think that's the only way I do cope with it, really, is having someone else to like calm me down or like reason with me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think my anxiety is that bad, to be honest. Like, but that surprises me because before Flo, I was a very anxious person, and in other areas of my life, I still am very anxious.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I thought it would be, and I think with time as well, it has got better. Yeah. I definitely think it was worse in the first probably 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's why it's worse for me at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm still
definitely.
Quite new, yeah, you've got like over
I think it has settled, definitely. So I don't think it's about like coping with it necessarily. I think it is just finding a way to work through it and get that more experience and kind of cope with it that way.
Right. Again, this is a massive question, so I'm just going to say out of 10 and then a brief explanation. So, because someone asked how a pregnancy was, so I'm just going to try and make it a bit quicker. So out of 10, what would you say your pregnancy was like, and then give like a quick reason why you've rated it out?
To be honest, I'd say probably like an 8 or 9. Like, I was very lucky.
Yeah, I think your pregnancy was good.
I didn't get sick. I had a bit of car sickness at the very, very start. Like, when I was in the car, I would feel sick, which wasn't normal for me. But after that, honestly, it was fine. I was very lucky, and I did really enjoy pregnancy. Obviously, I'm not going to give it a 10 because, you know, pregnancy. But it can never be a 10. But it was fine for me, to be honest.
Yeah, see,
especially compared to you.
I was the exact opposite. I feel like I was so unlucky with pregnancy.
-5, no, I'm
you know, I would honestly put probably like a 2. Honestly, like quite low, because obviously it's difficult because you don't ever feel like you can complain because you just feel so grateful to be pregnant, because obviously some people really, really struggle.
Of course, yeah.
But at the same time, it was not easy at all. Like, it wasn't great. Like, I was miserable a lot of the time because I had HG. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically where you have extreme morning sickness, and it's obviously not just morning. Like, I would throw up, I would say probably from anywhere from like 5 to 20 times. If it was a good day, I'd say like 5, 6, but honestly some days it was about 20 times a day. And sometimes it was literally like a sip of water and then I'd have to run to the toilet. I had to go like be in hospital and get like on a drip. It was awful, and that lasted all the way until my 3rd trimester, and then it came back again at the end of the 3rd trimester. So I basically only got a few weeks off. So for those reasons, I'd say it wasn't great. But other than that, like, it didn't have anything else in my pregnancy go wrong, I don't think.
No.
So it's just HG. But yeah, it wasn't great. If you're struggling with HG, honestly, I feel you, because it's awful, and it makes you miserable as a person as well. Like, makes you not look forward to anything and like almost like wish the time away.
So we're definitely on the opposite ends of the spectrum with it.
That, right, we're on that question. So,
I don't want to do the finger thing.
You can just do that. Right, okay, do that bit now.
I'm going to say, and this is part... Sorry!
You have a lot of editing to do.
No. And this is part 2.
Right, okay, so we were on this question. Should I just carry on reading the questions out because it's on my phone?
Yeah.
So this is actually quite good because we both had different births, so I feel like we can obviously give our opinions.
Yeah.
So it's basically people asking what the recovery is like for a C-section and obviously natural birth. I don't like using the word natural, but I can't really use the other word.
Yeah.
I get bad on TikTok. But anyway, you go first with C-section. Yours emergency, sorry.
Yeah, so technically it was an emergency, but not like alarms going off, rushing it in. But I actually need to think, to be honest, because I kind of have blurred
You
that
do
out
forget.
a lot.
It's like even mine was
feel
6 months ago and I forget things.
Yeah. So I initially went in and I had planned a natural birth, and I went through all of it basically. I got to 10 centimetres, pushing all of it, and then I ended up having to go in. But recovery wise, I personally didn't find it too bad, to be honest, considering it was an emergency and I'd laboured before. I'd say straight away I was up and moving quite quickly. And the pain wise, they give you the pain medication, so you can manage it quite well with that. So for me personally, the recovery was quite good. I was back up, moving about quite quickly. They say don't drive for 6 weeks, but I was driving at around 4 weeks, I think. So to be honest, the recovery was pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I would say
it did surprise me because I was quite scared for a C-section because of the recovery, but it was nothing like what I imagined, to be honest. It was way better.
Mine, it's hard to say because obviously I don't know what the other one's like, but it's definitely not as long a recovery as C-section, I'd say. But I still was quite shocked at like there was still some recovery. Like I feel like people make out like a natural birth is like you're like there's no pain straight after, like pain just stops and you're fine after like a day or two. But I mean, it might be because I had a 2nd degree tear, but I definitely say there was at least a week, if not probably closer to 2, of still recovery where I was uncomfortable. I would say no, that's probably because of my tear though, because nowhere else did I feel uncomfortable. Obviously, you have the what are they called, after contractions.
Yeah, where
you have that with a C-section as well. But obviously, I had that, and
that was horrible.
Yeah, they're not nice. And when you're breastfeeding or pumping, it's worse.
Really?
Yeah, so that's what makes it. That's what makes them happen quicker if you're breastfeeding or pumping. It's something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I got told that like the more you breastfeed, the more you pump, it's encouraging your uterus to contract.
Oh, okay.
So I always felt them when I was pumping in those first couple of days.
Oh,
and they were painful. They felt like just bad period pains, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think because of my 2nd degree tear, I was really uncomfortable with that for at least a week, if not 2, for it to like fully heal. But yeah, if I didn't have that, then actually I suppose I probably would have been. I was back on my feet, obviously.
You were discharged the same day.
I was discharged the same day. Like in terms of my birth, I feel like my birth went really, really well. Like there was nothing really that went wrong at all. So I was literally discharged the same day. So yeah, my recovery was pretty great, to be fair, other than like uncomfortable with the 2nd degree tear, but it wasn't that bad, to be fair. Right, what's the next one? Oh yeah, this is quite a fun, quick one. What other name was you going to use? Obviously, you don't have to say if you're going to use it again, but I know I'm not going to use mine.
Oh yeah, I won't use mine. Do you remember we kept saying Nova, didn't we? And
so
for a few weeks, we were convinced we were going to call her Nova. And I still really like the name, but now that I've got Florence, I don't think Florence and Nova would sound...
No, it's cute though.
Cute together.
Ours was, again, we could never use ours because my partner's brother actually had a son, their 2nd son, literally a week later than Eddie, and they used the name that we were going to... It was not the name we were going to use, but it's the name that was basically our 2nd option. And that's Miles / like, I couldn't decide between Miles or Milo, but I would have called them...
We like Milo, actually.
I would have called them the same thing either way, like, it would have been nicknamed. So yeah, that's the one that I won't be able to use now, but that was my 2nd choice. Again, another quick one. How many children do you want? I change my mind every day.
So do I. I've always said 2, and that's it.
Yeah,
but some days I do think maybe 3.
Yeah, I know, I'm the exact same.
But I think I go back and forth all the time, but I think it probably will be 2.
I think 2 will be easier. And
yeah.
It'd be easier, I think.
But then some people say 3 just slots in.
And also, I just think because we've started having children so young, what I'm scared of is that like I'll have my 2nd, hopefully, obviously, I'm hoping to have another one in another couple of years or whatever, but I'll still be very young at that stage, so I worry that I'm going to have all my children and then like suddenly in like another 5 years want another one because I missed like the newborn stage.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I think. But I don't want like a massive age gap to spread it out. So yeah, but I think probably 2, like you say.
Yeah.
Okay, what pain relief did you have during labour, if you had any, and what was your experience like? Would you recommend it or whatever?
Epidural, 100%
Same.
recommend.
Same.
I knew I wanted an epidural. I went in and I literally said, "Can I have the epidural yet?" I knew. I haven't. Luckily, I was 4 centimeters when I went in, but I still have a really low pain threshold, and I can admit that. So I knew I needed it, and
there's no shame in it. Like.
No, exactly. So yeah, I had it, and the experience was quite good. I was scared because I kept seeing about the needle, but honestly, it was fine. Didn't even feel it really.
I feel like I had different ones. I had the epidural in the end, but I basically was trying other things because I didn't really want to have the epidural. Obviously it came to that. But I started with pethidine, I think. But mine's a really long story, but basically because I got there and I wasn't quite 4 centimetres, the option was go home, but we lived about 45 minutes away, or I could stay, but I could only stay if they'd give me pethidine. So I basically took the pethidine because I wanted to stay.
You just give it to me.
Like, it's not that I felt like I really needed it because I was coping. That sounds really bad, but like, yeah, basically just wanted to stay. So I had pethidine, but yeah, it didn't make a difference, to be honest, pethidine. I don't really... No, it didn't make a difference. I didn't
swears by that. When she talks about how she should have a few shots of pethidine and she was fine.
I didn't notice a single difference with pethidine. I don't know.
I didn't even have it, I don't know.
But anyway, then I had gas and air, which I loved. Not for taking the pain away, it didn't take the pain away.
No, I hated it.
But it just made me feel like I was just drunk and like
loopy.
My
mouth so dry.
Yeah,
I just stopped straight
It made
away.
my mouth dry, but it was just a good distraction, I feel like, and I was just laughing like I actually feel so sorry for the nurses and the epidural man.
Why do you still call him that?
I feel so bad for this man because basically the reason I went for the epidural, obviously I was in pain, but also I was just so tired. I'd been up for like well over 24 hours at that point.
Yeah.
And it was the middle of the night, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to sleep if I didn't have the epidural. So I was like, I need to have it so that I can get some rest, basically, and obviously it was painful as well. So yeah, I was basically just like with the gas and air first, because obviously you don't just get it instantly, like you have to wait your turn and that until they're free. And I was just calling out for my room, like on the gas and air, because I was just going crazy, just calling out for the epidural man. And like he came in and he was the most serious man I've ever seen in my life. And even when he was doing the needle, I was there like just laughing to Dan. Like Dan was just like, stay still, and I was just like wetting myself with the gas and air, like laughing. And he was just so serious. But yeah, the epidural, like, I didn't notice the needle.
No.
Like, obviously you can feel it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's bad.
No.
Mine did stop working briefly though, I will say that. But it wasn't that it failed completely, because it did. I think what basically happened is we didn't push
You missed
it.
a 30
We
minute
missed
window,
a couple of
yeah.
doses, I think. Because I think at first we thought we were pressing it, but we didn't. It must have been something like that. Because it basically, it did catch up again, but I was basically without it for quite a while actually, because we did like a couple of doses we think we did and we didn't. So I got to like 9 centimeters suddenly, and I could feel all of it, but luckily it did catch up again before I had to push. So yeah, overall I would recommend the epidural if you're thinking about doing it, and we've had no side effects.
No. I had a bit of back pain, but it wasn't long lasting, and it wasn't awful.
Yeah, no.
Not enough to put me off having the epidural.
No, definitely not. Right. Oh, there's only one more. Right, okay. Are you planning to go back to work or be a stay-at-home mum? I'll answer quickly because I might do this in a separate video back over on my page. But I don't think I'm going to go back to work, just because very briefly it wouldn't make sense. I'll say it in a separate video, but yeah, I don't think so. And then you
I already am a stay-at-home mum. It's just the way things worked out, because I was on a contract and it ended basically. So I decided I wasn't going to look for anything else, and that I was going to be a stay-at-home mum. And to be honest, I love it. I think I always knew that I wanted to have children, and I always wanted to, cut this out. What was I going to say?
Like, I think what you're trying to say, like what I fail is like, I don't have a massive career in mind.
No, I don't. I don't have a huge career drive, to be honest. I don't want a huge career.
And I think some people make you feel really bad about that, but actually, I don't see what's wrong with that. Like, obviously, as long as you can pay your bills.
Exactly.
But if you can, and you can be a stay-at-home mum, like for me, it wouldn't make sense money-wise to go back to work.
No, same.
Not at the moment, it wouldn't.
Not right now, no, because obviously, if you're going, like in my mind, I don't want to go back to work just to pay for nursery and have like a couple £100 at the end of the month. Like, I don't see that that's worth it personally. I can get if you're in a career and you want to maintain your like level in that career, I can understand why you want to.
We weren't really like in massive careers.
Not
like,
really, no.
We were just doing jobs just because that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
I wasn't like obsessed with my job or anything. Like,
no, I enjoyed my job, but I wasn't like,
yeah, it wasn't something I was trying to build on at all. Or anything
no,
like that.
I'm definitely happy to be a stay-at-home mum and see what happens over the next few years, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think definitely until he's in school at least is what I'll probably be doing. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I feel like we should end it there, because otherwise
we just talk for ages.
Yeah, that is all the questions anyway, but yeah, obviously we'll just be talking for ages.
Yeah.
So the first bit was on my page. If you found this video first, obviously it's probably not like making a lot of sense, but the first part is on my page. But yeah, that is it. Hopefully we answered anyone's questions that left any on Instagram. I don't think I missed any. No. But that is it. Right, hopefully that made sense, because I know we probably were looking at the camera for TikTok a lot, but I thought I'd still film this for YouTube, just because, like I said, I never get the opportunity to have anyone else in my videos. People probably think I have no friends, no family, because it's always just me.
It's just you.
But I thought I'd take this opportunity to get someone else in my video. So hopefully you found that interesting. I feel like if you're pregnant, or well, if you're a mum even as well, but if you are pregnant, I feel like hopefully some of those questions were useful. I don't know if anyone I don't really know with YouTube, like if it's still the same people from before, or I haven't really had any new subscribers for a while. So, but hopefully someone's found that interesting or useful. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you did like it, if you did enjoy it, then please leave a like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.